Welcome, Toastmasters and guests. I enjoy traveling, and I have to admit that when I travel, I plan things to the mint detail. I like things that work out well. Things are planned to where I eat, wake up, sleep, how long I'm staying at the museum. It's perfectly planned. But I have to admit, occasionally things go wrong. I'm going to share some stories with you of what I have learned and some of the things that has happened in my traveling days. First one was one of the first times I've ever traveled without my parents. My wife and I went to Washington, D.C. And this trip was part business, part pleasure. But in Washington, we wanted to see the Capitol Triangle. And so we stopped at the hotel and we said, we want to see the Capitol. I have a car. How do I get there? Guy goes, don't use a car. Take the subway. It's much, much easier. Well, I have to commit. I knew subways. I've seen it on TV, the gangsters, the graffiti, the people getting beaten up. There was no way this cowboy was going to go in a subway. So I got out a map. This is the olden days. We didn't have Google. We had paper maps. Gave it to my wife to navigate, and we drove down to the triangle looking for parking. However, I didn't realize that at the time, this was when there was an anti-abortion rallies going on big time. And there was 500,000 people protesting that day, the issues of the days. So as I was driving around the spot looking for parking, you saw them $20 an hour, $15 an hour. Now, this was 40 years ago. That was a lot of money to spend on a day of parking. We spent the whole morning traveling here, to here, to there, looking for parking. Nothing came up. Finally, my wife looked at me and said, listen, it's daylight, let's take the subway. So we took the car back to the parkade. We got down and said, where's the subway? Well, just across the street. So we go in, ready for anything, kind of close together, ready for whatever may happen. Washington, D.C. has one of the cleanest, neatest subway systems in the world. We got down there, bright, clear signs. We got on. 6 minutes later, we were in the middle of the Capitol Triangle, and we spent the day enjoying the triangle, not worrying about parking. Things sometimes goes wrong, but sometimes you just have to believe the locals will actually know what they're talking about. It was a good lesson for an early beginner. And we use that now quite a bit, is what do the locals tell us to do? Because they probably know a little bit better than us. The next story I'm going to tell you about just actually happened a week ago. We were in Maui, touring around, and there's a place called the Blowhole, and that's where the water comes up and blows a big steam of water. My wallet fell all over my pocket. Now, when you're on holidays, your wallet is kind of important because there's your credit card, your ID, and actually my room key and some cash. I didn't even know I lost it until we went to buy some banana bread, and I said, where's my wallet? Looked at Julie, I said, I forgot my wallet in the room. And she said, no problem, here's mine, I'm prepared for you, which she is. And went to the next bar and the next bar. We spent our day, went to the bar, we had the drinks, all on her, which was kind of a good thing. Get back to the hotel room, no wallet. We looked here, we looked there, we looked under the suitcases, we looked everywhere, no wallet to be found. I was on my phone, I got this message from a woman's name saying, I've sent you a picture to look at. Now, I don't know about you, but once in a while you get names of women or guys saying, I got a picture for you to look at. Those are not things you want to open on your Facebook page. So I said, no, I'm not going to open this one. And I didn't. Well, the next day I got another message from a guy saying, I found your wallet. And I said, oh, that's kind of cool. My mom messaged you yesterday, but you didn't reply. So I met this young man, got my wallet back. I offered him coffee, chocolates, supper, money. He didn't take any of it. He just wanted to be nice on somebody on their holidays. Lesson learned. There are good people in this world, and young people are not always bad. They are very decent human beings, and they want to do the right thing too. My third story of the day. We were in Australia, Christmas Day, and we wanted to tour around and see what Australians do on Christmas Day. So we were staying at a bed and breakfast. The lady said, well, people just take a lunch. They go to the beach up just over a hill and they have lunch. And so we said, no problem. Where do we get the lunch? Well, our store is always open till noon. Don't worry about it. We didn't worry about it. Well, we got to the store, closed for Christmas, special family vacation. There was no food for us to go on a holiday. We had with us 1 meat tart, 3 granola bars. So no problems. We'll pick something up on the way. We drove for an hour and a half. Everything was closed. The one gas station just had chocolate bars. No way we were going to do that. We finally get to our parking lot and there was a big restaurant. We can have lunch here. So we go in. We would like lunch. Well, no problem, sir. It's our Christmas special lunch. It's only $200 a person. There was 5 of us. And we said, no, we really can't afford 1,000 Australian dollars for lunch. So what we did, said, well, let's just go over the hill. Well, the hill wasn't a hill. It was actually a mountain. And we climbed up. It took us 35 minutes to get to the top. 40 minutes to get to the bottom to the beach. We were tired. We shared our 1 meat tart, our 3 granola bars. We had water, but that was all the food substance we had for the day. Spent a couple hours on the beach. And I gotta admit, it was a cool day. Then we climbed up the mountain again, climbed back down, got back in our car and said, okay, we need some food. So we'll drive back into the capital, Hobart. We drove all the way back. And nothing was open, not even a McDonald's, nothing. The whole town was dead quiet. So, well, let's maybe go back to our landlady and beg for some food, explain what happened. And just as I was turning around, we turned around in the tavern, we saw an open sign. I said, well, why don't we try that? Well, we go walking in, there was a guy sitting at the button and another guy serving him. I went up to the server and said, hey, this is our story. And I kind of told him how we were kind of dumb Canadians and we believed and we're hungry. I have 3 kids in the car. Any possible way to get any food? He looked at us and said, no problem. Bring your family in and we'll see what we can dig up in the kitchen. I have to admit, this was probably one of the best meals I've ever had on traveling. There was ham, chicken, beef, potatoes, vegetables. And he apologized because it was just warmed up. And then he gave me and my wife each a beer and the kids all the drinks they could have. And then came back with big chunks of pie. At the end of this, he goes, well, is $20 a person too much to ask? I'm glad we paid the $100. And we went out and say, well, somebody was looking after us today. And so we learned from that things do turn out. So in our travels, we got lots of lessons that we learned from believing the locals, trusting people, and things will just work out. So when you're traveling on your holidays, trust, have fun, and things always work out. Mr. Toastmaster.